She was the most beautiful woman in town, yet she was branded with a price tag and forced to do the filthiest work. Countless men were willing to spend everything they had just to spend a night with her. But since there were too many men lining up each day, a lottery system was used to pick the lucky one for the night. The man chosen tonight was different. He nervously said he wouldn't do anything. He just came because he wanted to marry her. Angel had heard this lie 1,000 times. She believed all men had the same goal, and Michael was no exception. Not wanting to waste time, she simply told Michael to leave. But after just one night, Michael came back to Angel's room. This time, he paid double and promised again not to lay a finger on her. He asked Angel if she really planned to stay there forever, lying in bed, watching their filthy faces. But before he could finish, the manager at the door told them time was up.
Nice talking to you.
On his way back, friends advised him to find another woman, but Michael was not ready to give up. On the third day, he came back again and made one last attempt to convince Angel to leave with him. Looking into his intense, sincere eyes, Angel felt her soul tremble, but she still instinctively turned him down. Most men would give up after that. As Michael walked away, something stirred in Angel's heart for the first time. She too longed for a normal life. A life she could truly call her own, and Michael's appearance had sparked that longing inside her. The next day, she went to see Duchess and asked how much it would cost if she wanted to leave. The meaning behind her words was clear, but it also touched a nerve for Duchess. Angel was a gold mine, and Duchess wasn't about to let that go. To kill the idea completely, she ordered her men to take care of Angel. That night, screams echoed through the so-called heaven. Meanwhile, Michael, miles away, seemed to feel her pain. When he rushed over again, he found his beloved completely unrecognizable. He held back his fury and told Duchess he was taking Angel with him today.
She's not leaving until she pays me every penny she owes me.
Michael gave every cent he had to Duchess. Before leaving, he asked Angel that same question one more time.
Will you marry me?
A quiet path bathed in sunlight and filtered shadows, with the breeze clearing their way home. Michael finally brought Angel back to the farm. He gave her his late sister's clothes and told her to rest. He would never treat her like a slave. Then he handed her his mother's heirloom ring. But Angel's soul had been shattered. She couldn't trust anyone anymore. Once her wounds healed, she ran away while Michael was out. When Michael came home, he immediately noticed the ring left on the table. Realizing she couldn't be far, he ran out to find her. Luckily, they crossed paths at a bend in the road.
You don't own me!
Instead of getting angry, Michael gently offered her water and food. After speaking softly, he got ready to ride off, while Angel watched his figure disappear into the distance. Maybe even she didn't realize. Her frozen heart had started to melt. In the end, between the two paths, Angel chose him. And it was as if Michael had already expected this outcome. He handed Angel the food he had prepared in advance, then brought over a basin of freshly heated water, and gently washed the weariness from her feet with his own hands. That night, Angel tried to thank Michael in a different way, but Michael turned her down, saying he wasn't feeling well. He didn't want her body. He wanted her heart, broken and pure. From that day on, Angel stayed at the farm, but she didn't think of herself as Michael's wife. She was just helping out until she paid off what she owed him. Michael never pushed her. He believed that as long as she stayed, change would come. He taught Angel how to live on the farm, from collecting eggs in the coop to planting in the garden. In their free time, they'd go fishing under the setting sun. It was the kind of peaceful life everyone dreams of. Through this time together, Michael became the color in Angel's gray world, bringing light back into her life. One day, passed in a flash, Angel once again joked about paying him with her body. As expected, she was once again gently turned down by Michael. Using a walk as an excuse, he made his way to the lake, letting the cold water help him stay in control. Seeing that made the smile on Angel's face grow even brighter. At dawn, Michael took her to the top of a hill. The rising sun painted the sky in gold, and they stood there like a picture-perfect scene. Michael's patience finally swept away the darkness in Angel's heart. She began to truly accept him and saw the farm as her second home. But that peaceful life was shattered by the unexpected arrival of Michael's brother-in-law, Paul. The moment Paul laid eyes on Angel, he recognized her immediately. Though he didn't expose her identity in front of others, he later confronted Michael in private, saying he couldn't accept his friend marrying a woman like that.
What do you think your mother'd say about marrying a piece of trash like that?
Michael couldn't stand hearing anyone talk about Angel that way. Since he had taken her as his wife, her past didn't matter to him. But Paul clearly wasn't listening. As soon as Michael was away, he went straight to Angel.
And he deserves a decent girl, not you.
His words cut deep, and Angel knew everything he said was true. Her past was tainted beyond repair, and Michael, so pure and kind, didn't deserve to be dragged into her darkness. After a long night of thought, Angel left her ring behind and went to Paul, telling him she had decided to leave. Paul gladly agreed, but halfway through the journey, he made her pay a cruel price. As they neared the city gates, afraid someone might see him with her, he heartlessly threw her off the carriage.
You know, I never pretended to be anything but what I am. But you took Michael's money, you took his wagon, his horse, and then you took his wife. Call yourself his brother.
After saying these words, Angel left without looking back. But years of captivity had left her without any real survival skills. Desperate, she returned to the only life she knew, Paradise Town. Meanwhile, Michael had heard everything from Paul. Furious, he kicked Paul off his farm and rushed straight to Paradise Town. He stormed into the room and, despite everyone's objections, took Angel back with him. They didn't speak the entire way. Angel could imagine Michael's anger, but he didn't vent it on her. That night, Angel found Michael crying alone in the stables. She heard his muffled sobs, full of pain, hurt, and heartbreak. She knew she had hurt him deeply and betrayed his love. Desperate to feel clean again, she waded into the lake, scrubbing her body as if she could wash away the filth of her past. With Michael's gentle comfort, her heart slowly began to calm. And for the first time, she shared everything with him. Angel had grown up with her mother, never meeting her father until she was 8. But as an illegitimate child, she was never accepted by his family. Eventually, she and her mother were thrown out. With no income and no help, her mother had only one way to earn money in those times. That life drained her mother's health, and she eventually fell ill with an incurable disease. Angel prayed every day for her mother to recover, but fate is rarely kind to those who suffer most. Her mother eventually passed away from this world. With no one to care for her, Angel was sold to a twisted duke by a stranger. There, she was trained only to please men. She became a soulless shell. At 18, by a cruel twist of fate, she met her father again. To get revenge, she brought him to her room. Only after it was over did he realize who she was. Overcome with guilt, he shot himself then and there. Angel took advantage of the chaos to escape and boarded a ship to Europe. She thought her tragic life had finally come to an end. But the cruelty of human nature had yet another lesson in store for her. Not only was all her money stolen, but she was also sold to Paradise Town by 2 women. Over time, Angel became a machine, emotionless and built to make money, until Michael came along and lit a spark in her dark world. They dreamed of a better life together, but fate intervened once more. They happened to meet a homeless family on the road, and one of the women was pregnant. Out of kindness, Michael offered them shelter. A few days later, the woman gave birth to a baby boy. They gave the child Michael's last name in gratitude. Watching Michael dote on the baby, Angel felt a bitterness she couldn't express. As his wife, she knew what he longed for, but she couldn't give it to him. After much thought, she decided to tell him the truth.
I got pregnant once, and he said that he would make sure that it would never happen again.
Michael was stunned at first, but quickly told her he loved her and nothing would change that. However, the more he loved her unconditionally, the deeper her guilt grew. She began to notice how kind and gentle the family's daughter was. And so, Angel made her decision. At dawn, she prepared a loving breakfast for Michael and then asked him to go watch the sunrise with her. Everything about that morning was a silent farewell. After they returned, Angel left a letter and her ring with the girl, and then quietly climbed into a carriage and left. In her heart, she truly hoped Michael and the girl would have a happy future. But in Michael's heart, there was only Angel. Faced with her departure, this time Michael didn't go looking for her, because he understood that for Angel to truly heal from years of trauma, she needed to build normal relationships with others. Most importantly, she had to reconnect with the world from within, on her own terms. After wandering for a while, Angel eventually arrived in San Francisco, where she managed to land a job as a cook. Thanks to her arrival, a struggling restaurant found new life and began to flourish again. But fate wasn't finished toying with her. By chance, the very Duke who had once bought her as a child discovered her again. One night, under the cover of darkness, he set fire to the restaurant and kidnapped Angel, dragging her back to his private room. The moment she entered, she saw a little girl lying on the bed. The girl's innocence mirrored her own past, and the nightmare buried deep inside Angel resurfaced. In front of the Duke, she became a doll once again, too terrified to fight back. From the next room, the sounds of fear grew louder, and before she could process it all, she was dressed up and dragged onto a stage. In that moment of panic, she seemed to see her mother's silhouette.
Tell them the truth, darling.
Her mother's voice gave her strength, and as the crowd cheered below, Angel stood tall and exposed the Duke's crimes with unwavering resolve.
Duke fancies little girls.
What?
He has 2 locked away upstairs right now. He abuses us until we do anything to survive. I was 8 years old when he bought me. I escaped when I was 17, but he found me and he forced me here.
Lies! All lies!
Sensing that things were spiraling out of control, the Duke dragged her back to his room, intending to kill her. But just in time, a man burst in and saved her. Angel took the chance to escape, and didn't forget to rescue the 2 young girls on her way out. When the audience saw them appear, chaos erupted on the floor. Determined not to let the villain escape justice, they chased down the fleeing Duke, tied a rope around his neck, and hanged him from the top of the castle. Time passed. 3 years went by in the blink of an eye. One day, Paul spotted a familiar figure on the street. To confirm his suspicions, he followed her to a school. After asking around, he finally confirmed it was Angel. After that fateful night, she had taken the 2 rescued girls and sought refuge in this town. The woman she had become had found redemption on her own. Not only by dispelling the darkness of her past, but by saving other children, she had discovered a deeper purpose in her life. Seeing Angel now, once again wearing a cross around her neck, Paul told her about Michael's life. Since the day she left, Michael had remained alone. He never followed Angel's advice to be with the other girl. Instead, he waited, day after day, hoping Angel would return. Angel was stunned. She couldn't believe Michael still loved her so deeply after all this time. Now that the darkness had been cleared away, it was finally time for her to bravely face the love of her life. Meanwhile, Michael was working in the fields when, as if guided by instinct, he suddenly turned to look behind him. And there she was, the girl who had haunted his dreams, standing before him once more. 3 farewells had shaped them into who they were now. In this love that had spanned years and distance, he never gave up, and she never truly left.
Because it was the only thing that I had that no one could take from me. I came here to tell you that I love you.
The breeze blew gently. Birds sang in the distance. True love had finally borne fruit. In that moment, under a radiant sunrise, life was full of hope once more.